Unlock the cinematic power of your Sony Alpha A7 Iv and dive into the captivating world of slow motion. To begin, power on your camera and navigate to the main menu. We'll start by setting your shooting mode. Press the menu button. Navigate to the shooting mode icon, usually a camera with a dial here. Select manual mode, represented by the M. This gives you full control over your settings. Now, let's get into the frame rate. Press the menu button again and go to the drive mode section. Select the continuous shooting option, which is usually represented by 3 overlapping rectangles. This is crucial for capturing high frame rate footage. Next, we'll adjust the actual frame rate for our slow motion. Go to the movie shooting menu. You'll find an option for frame rate or FPS. For dramatic slow motion, we want to select a higher frame rate. Choose 120 frames per second 120p. This will allow for a significant slowdown later in editing. You can also experiment with 60 frames per second 60p for a bit less of a dramatic, but still very effective, slow motion effect. Now, for the crucial shutter speed in manual mode, with your frame rate set to 120p, you want to aim for a shutter speed that is roughly double your frame rate for natural motion blur. So, for 120 frames per second, set your shutter speed to around 1/240th of a second. You'll notice your image might get darker. This is where exposure compensation comes in. You may need to adjust your aperture or ISO to properly expose your shot. Open up your aperture if possible to let in more light, or increase your ISO slightly if needed. Keep an eye on your histogram to ensure you don't blow out your highlights or crush your shadows. Once your settings are dialed in, frame your shot and press the record button. When you play this back in your editing software, you'll be able to set its playback speed to 24 or 30 frames per second, creating that mesmerizing slow motion effect. Experiment with different subjects and lighting to truly master the art of slow motion with your Sony Alpha A7 Iv, adding a touch of magic to every frame.